On this video I've got two child vest tops to show you, a hat and a shawl. Good evening everyone, I'm Cheryl. Welcome to another video. As I left it in my video 22.1 I believe, I showed you a lacy vest top that I made, except it wasn't the lacy bit. Mariana Lazy Daisy Days. There's a lady at my knit group who showed us this top she was making, and then we're making them ourselves and giving them to her because she's passing them on to the organisation who's collecting for them for a charity. And just before my last video I'd almost finished the one I'm about to show you, and I can show you it now. I don't know why it took me so long to actually get around to doing this video, but there you go. Here we are. It's a lot darker than the others, I'm afraid, but it's also a lot thicker. And I'll show you how in a minute. This was made with, I love this yarn, so it's a worsted weight, and I did it on 4.5mm needles. So it's nice and thick. Right. And I've just recently finished another one. And please excuse my, I forgot to sew some of the yarn ends. I got so far and I've forgotten to put it away because I had to do something. But I will just show you anyway. Please excuse my lack of professionalism. I'm going to take photos of these and I will insert them in the video. But it's night time so I can't do it yet. So at the bottom here, Stylecraft Special DK. At the top here, Stylecraft Special DK. And in the middle, it's an Ice Yarns. Ice Yarns, not nice. Well, it is nice, but it's Ice Yarn and it's a DK. That was gifted to me among a box of yarns. And I did knit it up in a shawl just to test the pattern, but of course I didn't have enough yarn to finish it. And it just stayed there for ages until I pulled it out and used it for this. And there's still some left over, so I can use that for another centrepiece, for another one of these, which I've just started last week, I believe. Anyway, this, yeah, DK, the other one, so that was 4mm needles, but I just wanted to show you, if I can hold a little bit up there, how much bigger, in width I mean, that this is. Right, there we go. So it's the same that side, right? We go along, and you can see there's a little bit more on the right here. So it's a little bit bigger, which is fine because that was the intended purpose. Because what we noticed, my friends and I, was that when we knit in the DK, even though we're knitting one of the larger sizes, actually the penultimate largest size, it's DK and you had 4mm needles. There's no way you can still use 4mm needles, 4.5mm needles for a DK weight yarn because it's just too thin. So that's why I pulled out some worsted weight ones. And they're going to go to my friend in a couple of days' time. And I'll make sure to take some photos before I give them. Oh, I'll have to do the photos tomorrow. That's it. I'll definitely have to do the photos. I'm now going to show you a hat. Again, I'd almost finished this hat from my last video, but I hadn't quite made it. And here it is. That's what it looks like on the top. And this is the, excuse me, I'll just find what it's called. I know it's Turner's Cross Cable Twist. And this is made with Maran yarn. It's an Aran weight yarn. And I'm going to leave a link to the pattern. It's an archive pattern, and I'm not sure the name of the actual person who wrote the pattern, but in the bottom right hand side of the PDF I printed, it says Left Foot Daisy. Now whether that's a username or something, or the blog name, I'm not really sure, but I will be putting the link to the pattern, what I got it from, and hopefully be able to see yourself. So it is an archive one. Okay, a few years ago, 3 years ago perhaps, yeah, I was in Hobbycraft in Yeovil, And I saw some carrot cakes, and I thought, oh, I remember the big fuss about them when they first came out. Oh, carrot cakes, shame we don't get them over here. Well, we did. And so I got two of them, different colours. And every now and then I'd look at them and think, what am I going to make with that? And so I did my usual thing. I went to Ravelry, typed in carrot cakes, and looked at all the projects made from it, and found one with just using one of them. Because that's the hardest thing, finding one. And then I realised I don't like, you know, as much as I don't like short run variegated yarn for certain things, I don't like long run yarn, which suddenly change. Well, suddenly, it doesn't really suddenly change, but you have a long run, then you change, and it changes when you don't want it to change, you know what I mean? And you're like, ah. Anyway, I made this, and you're going to think, yes, Cheryl. let me just pull it back for you. This video so seriously needs a picture to enhance this. So it goes all the way up there. Perhaps. I've never actually tried this on myself. I put it on the, no, I didn't put it on anything. I lied, sorry. I didn't put it on anything, I thought I did. Oh, it looks better when I'm going to do it on the body form. I forgot what it's called. Oh my goodness, I'm getting old. Right, it'll look much better when I take a photo. I'm going to put it on the body form. What do you call it? I've got a tabletop on. It clamps to the table. It's just a bust, well, a torso. Yeah, I've got one of them, and it's expandable as well. When I say it's expandable, like you can widen it so it has, like, it can fit a bigger frame. So anyway, I made that, and I was making it, and you're probably thinking, wow, Cheryl, 2 of your videos last year, they look familiar. Yeah, they do, don't they? So this is the Boom Shawl by, and I don't know how to pronounce his first name, Emir Early. But I think the Boom Shawl is quite popular one. It came up quite a lot in searches. And it's an asymmetric shawl. The only difference from the two I did last year, now last year on my video 21.3 I did the Cape Cod curtain scarf, and 21.4 I did the Be Simple Shawl, and I can't remember who wrote any of them, but if you go to those videos you'll see the links in my description box. So videos 21.3 and videos 21.4, and they were also asymmetric shawls. The only difference is that they both had a picot edge and the Boom Shawl doesn't. That's it. That's the only difference. But as soon as I started making this, I was thinking, I've done this style of scarf shawl before. Oh well, never mind. I enjoyed it, and it was pretty easy knitting actually, so I didn't mind so much. On my needles at the moment is another one of these. That's for Knit and Natter. So I've just done the bottom bit, and I've done that, and I've just started on the collar. Oh, the only difference is between me and my friends at Knit and Natter is that I'm knitting them in the round where they're knitting them in the flat, which the pattern actually is in the flat. It's just that I switched it. I created a table and figured it out. So where they do garter stitch, I knit one round, purl one round, for instance. And where they're doing, on this bit here, where they're doing knit a row, purl a row, I'm just knitting. So just switch things around a bit for ourselves. Yeah, and yes, this hat, I've almost finished another one. I'm onto the crown decreases. So that'll be another hat to donate. And then so far this year I haven't knit any socks at all. I think I'm just going to have a sock-free 2022. And my youngest son said, Mum, I don't need any more socks for the moment. And I said, oh, that's okay, don't worry. But you are allowed to wear them out, you know. Don't worry about wearing them out, because, you know, things wear out. It's a fact. You know, fact of life, you wear the clothes, you wear them out. And my husband went through a spate of wearing his every day, which he shouldn't have done because it bothered his feet. So he had to stop wearing them for a bit. But a couple of weeks ago he did wear a pair. So I just said, don't wear them too often, just wear them every now and then. It's okay, don't worry. But I've still got lots of sock yarn, so at some point I'm going to pick up and start knitting socks again and just keeping a stash of them. Because you never know when you think, oh, I might give that to so-and-so for their birthday, as long as they've got roughly the same size feet as me and my husband and my son, that'll be alright then. Hopefully next time I do another video, maybe that's wishful thinking, I was going to say I'll be in my new craft room. I might not be in my new craft room. Possibly, partially in my new craft room. Okay, let me say what... My new craft room, okay, will be my youngest son's bedroom. He's left home now. He's got a house of his own. And the room I did use as a craft room is actually a guest bedroom. And over the years, stash acquisition, supply acquisition, things went under the bed, things went in the drawers, things went in the wardrobe, and you know, they're just where they shouldn't be. It's really hard to keep track of things when they're not in the right place. Yeah, you can imagine. And really, that's a guest bedroom because it's got an ensuite shower room, which is perfect for guests because they don't have to use the main bathroom. So while I was planning on making that into a craft room anyway, and I was thinking about things and storage and whatnot, and getting rid of maybe the bed and the drawer unit and the wardrobe. And then I started to look at my younger son's bedroom, and I was thinking, yeah, thinking the same thing. And when I was showing my husband the plans, you know, speaking about them, he said, why don't you move in the other bedroom? I said, yeah, I was thinking about that. It could be a good idea. And then I spoke to my youngest son about it. He says, yeah, go for it. You know, I'm not going to use the room anymore. And just make it your own, and that'd be brilliant. So I thought, yeah, because then the guest bedroom, they'll have somewhere to stay. So a couple of weeks ago, we donated to his bed, his drawer unit, his bedside table and his wardrobe to some charity called Fernie Trust. The guys, 3 guys came, right? They got all the stuff out, but then they decided they weren't going to take the wardrobe. And David, my husband, he said, no, you take all of it or none. So he got the guys to take them back off the lorry and put the stuff in the garage. They didn't want to take the wardrobe down because it was too heavy. I mean, 3 guys. Right. I think it was about half an hour later, David called them back and said, can you come back and collect everything? We got the wardrobe downstairs. Oh, he said, no, that was it. He said, my 60-year-old wife, he aged me like 9 years, okay? My 60-year-old wife and I got the wardrobe downstairs. Now, he had to go for a hospital appointment then. So by the time the guys came back, the youngest one was looking at me through his reflective sunglasses. He said, how did you get downstairs? I said, it was dead easy. We just you know, tilt and twist, and it was a lot of planning and negotiation, but once it was down on the stair, it was sliding down slowly. It was a little bit more than that, actually. They don't do things like pull out drawers and remove doors, and that's half the trouble. So we pulled out the drawers, we knew they went back in, that's absolutely fine, put them to one side. We unscrewed the doors. Oh, it's hard when you've got drawers and doors. We unscrewed the doors, took them off, negotiated through the door and round the bend, because it was like going out the bedroom door, round and then down to the stairs. So it's like a U-turn, but we managed it. And then my husband we got the wardrobe on its side. My husband was down the stairs. I was thinking, oh God, I hope it doesn't slide down and plough him over. And my legs were spread either side of the wardrobe, my feet planted on either side, and I was holding it so it wouldn't slide down. And then bit by bit, we got down the stairs. He lifted it to one step, and then it slid down a few, and I was controlling it at the top. But we managed it, and we got it through the double doors at the bottom, through a right angle to the main door, and then dead easy, we carried it either end into the garage, we left it on its back, put the doors on, got it upright, put the drawers in, called them back. They were just like, how did you manage that? Oh, it was easy. It was easy. The worst thing was that it was the planning, it was the logistics of it. That was the worst thing, but we did it bit by bit. We moved something, we did this. Hang on a minute, we need to stop. Let's think about this. How are we going to get out this little bit here? Okay, let's go again. And that's all it was. It was just a bit of communication. Once we were on the stairs, it was dead easy. The decorator is due to come in December. However, I did say, if you have a cancellation, would you fit us in instead, please? He went, okay then, I'll do that. So he's put us down for a cancellation. So that would be nice, but having my own dedicated craft room, and I can move out of the guest bedroom, and that can be for my son and my daughter-in-law when they come and visit. I think I've rattled on quite a lot this evening. I'd like to thank you for joining me with this video, and hope to see you very soon. Take care everyone. Good night. Bye.